Hey, this is the Alice Hamlet project. Sean Roberts is the director and writer of the books of Alice and Wonderland, and I'm directing Hamlet. Our idea is that we will both be rehearsing assiduously our own pieces. We're going to mash them together in a way that's unpredictable.
Oh! What a rogue and peasant slave am I!
And we feel that this is a form that hasn't been really explored.
There's fennel for you.
And as an uffish thought.
And some columbine.
Yes.
It would be interesting to have a universe, a parallel kind of universe that meet, in which, Alice unexpectedly encounters Hamlet, that we're not going to plan. We're going to rely on the, and she left, right? Oh, God, what do you call that, when it's, things happen on their own and it's incredible.
Drown the stage with tears.
I'll mimsy where the bow brings.
Make mad guilty.
And the mole rat.
And a Paul III.
Oh, great.
That's it. I think we can use it, right? Yeah. Okay, that's it.
Yeah, and we have a couple weeks.
That's what we thought, right?
Maybe.
Yeah. The hard part's going to be to resist, like talking about it. Yeah, it could be, Alice, Prince of Denmark. Hamlet in Wonderland. Yeah. What do you think? Don't want to displace Alice, though.
Right.
And I'm really into the sound. We're going to have this kind of thunder roll going all through it.
Yep, through the entire show.
Yeah. You haven't been thrown by this, have you?
No.
Good.
Like I've created an
lighting is in
entire
this-
score for Wonderland. Like
Oh, yeah?
I have an
Oh,
entire lineup of music for this show.
Music?
Yes, that I've made for this
Oh,
production.
yeah. Oh, wow.
Like the music kind of came first.
And last time we were in the space, your stuff was all over the place. And that was really interesting.
Yeah, and like you talked about needing those platforms to begin with, but now you don't.
Yeah, it's just like, they had the funny, patterns and colors all over them. And
I think that those actually.
you did? Oh, that was, but we're looking for a cleaner look. It's good to begin to get these little trouble warning signs before it's too late.
We're a couple weeks away.
Yeah. We're back to that first date analogy, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like the first kiss. We haven't had that yet.
No, we haven't.
Sometimes the kind thing is to just say, that was great, but I'm going to really enjoy my ride home after this.
So everything that we've been doing up until now, the choices that I've made in order to make sure that things are more in place for yours.
I had a different impression of what you were doing
Same.
earlier, yeah.
Yeah.
So there we are, right? We sort of... I did... Well, that's the way it goes sometimes. You take a risk with somebody, and it's important to be ready for the fallout.
That was great. I enjoyed that. But yeah, so as a note for everybody who's been watching, this has all just been a joke.
Yes.
A very sort of Andy Kaufman-esque experience. Like when you...
It's funny though. I actually would like to try that sometime.
What? Fusing two shows? Yes, I know. It sounds like a lot of fun. Like it could be a fun experience for an audience to come and see. Like I'm totally down with it at some point. I would say yes to it immediately. There were even things in our conversation just now where we made note of certain things, and in my head I was just kind of like, I really wouldn't mind that. Like, but right now I hate it. But right now I have to hate it.
Well, we're both in just to catch up. We're both in sort of later stages of putting these very careful, difficult shows together. They're going to be separate. Hamlet happens first, and then Alice happens next. But we are really attracted to the fact that that they're happening one after the other, and we've become much more interested in each other since having this kind of ruse.
Totally.
And I actually invited him and Kim to come in to Hamlet, and so they are our players, our outside players, who are actually outside players. So there is a bit of an element of this kind of meta mashup thing going on.
It's been a really nice collaborative effort of just the space.
And I asked
venue.
Sean to make a sound cue for me to be the invisible ghost that's going to move around in the room and in sound. And I just heard it this morning before I came in, and I really love it.
Yeah, that's the environmental one.
Yeah.
Like, but haven't created really like the ghost one yet,
Right.
Because you like that one as kind of the general.
The Matrix.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll definitely keep working on those. But no, this has been a blast, and I thought it was hilarious the other week when you told me that your stage manager actually thought that we were upset with each other.
And he really knows what's going on. I mean, of all people, the stage manager knows everything.
Yep.
And he was like, "Oh my God."
And that's what we joked about, how like we would try to pull in some truths.
Yeah.
Compromises that we have actually made for one another, things that we have done for each other, but instead of looking at them the way that I think we both actually are, where we are feeling kind of like selfless about it, and how it's okay and we're happy to work with the other person and make sure that like that what we do doesn't hinder your production and vice versa type of thing.
Yeah.
We just took those truths that are compromises that we've made for each other, and we just say, now we're not okay with them. They're problems. And that's, I think, a great way that it's almost something you could teach actors.
Yeah.
Like-
And I'm actually really interested in the Alice set, that Ophelia, when she goes mad, begins to reveal something from a whole different dimension, which will be the Alice world, you know, in the middle of this very clean gray and black geometric space.
And to be honest, like during my rant against you about a sterile, clean set and everything, that's actually the place that I like to go to the most when it comes to set and things like that. I like a black space that doesn't really have much to it, that the actors are kind of the main focus for because of that. My ideal type of performance is as minimal as you can get. Everybody's just in black, the set's all black, and like you've got boxes and shapes that make up an environment, but everything is left to the imagination to determine what is actually there. And so I love what you're doing.
Well, neat. Well, that's coming back to an old tradition of theater in which what happens mostly occurs in the imagination of the audience. So that you don't give them too many details visually,
Right.
but you allow their inner, their mind's eye to like make up their own vision of what's happening, so that it's very personal to them.
Right. If you the less you give them, the more you ask for them for that suspension.
So
of disbelief.
it's an active participation
Exactly.
in the common dream, the collective dream. Yeah.
And I love that.
Cool. That's cool. It's something I think has been a bit lost in the last few decades.
Yeah, it's like people on stage are trying to get as close as they can to film.
To movies.
Yes, as
But
possible.
movies has changed our brains to such an extent that we have a very high expectation of detail and gore
realism.
and realism.
Yeah,
That we can't possibly simulate in
can't
theater.
at all. So why not?
So why bother?
Get away from
Do
that?
something different.
Right.
Do something
right.
poetic, something like a little trippier, actually.
Yes. Totally agree.
Yeah.
So dates for your shows?
Dates for my show. We open June 25th, and we're doing 4 weekends of evening followed by a matinee the next day. It's a slightly different pattern, but from June 25th to July 15th. And you?
our shows are the very last weekend of July, so 29th, 30th, and 31st.
I'm really
of
looking
July.
forward.
Yeah.
Relaxing after Hamlet.
I'm
Basking in your Alice.
and I'm looking forward to being involved in your Hamlet.
You've been great, considering that you're working and contributing to my show, as our show, and I know you've got a lot of work to do, but he's young, right? He can do everything. I'm like, whoa.
And it's a great experience working with you, like whether it's when I'm being directed by you during the players' scenes, or being able to see you working with the other actors, because you do have, like, another one of those truths, you do have like a reputation, you do have a name to yourself, and being able to see you working with the other actors, taking that moment to be able to examine and try to learn a little bit.
Well, thank you.
From you as another director.
A high compliment coming from you. Thank you.